Because I use Mid-Journey. I have AI. I'm creating an avatar to put in my college class, so I'm not a stranger to it. But I approach technology with this very ancient caution, born of the recognition that Techne was addressed as a deity in the time of the Greeks.
Mm.
Right? Aristophanes in the Birds talks about those who worship goddess Techne, right? But he's
Uh-huh.
being sarcastic.
Right,
It's like,
right,
what are you going to really? It's
right,
like, that's what you're going to worship?
right.
But that's been carried through thousands of years. We are still worshiping Techne. So I'm cautious around it, even as I jump in and try to work with it. But I thought I should really try to have a conversation with Chat GPT and not just make it my servant for quick, easy stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I started a conversation by saying, what is your favorite poetic metaphor?
Oh,
And Chat GPT shot back, my love is like a red, red
oh
rose that's
dear.
newly and I went, uh-oh.
Uh,
I replied, I said, that's actually a simile, not a metaphor. What
true.
about you, but you like roses. What about Rilke's poem that he had on his tombstone, where he says, ah, Rose, to be not asleep under so many closed lids. Now, every time I say that, I get this tingle up my spine
Mm.
because that short little poem on a tombstone,
Hmm.
there is so much happening there.
Right.
The pedal. Now, I have to say that I had previously, like 30 years ago, done a translation of Rilke's Rose poems, which were all in French, and they're just gorgeous. But I know that for him, the rose was like this symbolic selfhood, right? The self
Hmm.
that keeps unfolding and holds so much still secret inside the bud. But on a tombstone, ah, Rose, to be not asleep under so many closed lids. So you have the eyelid, you have the coffin lid, you have the petals as lids over the. There's so many layers to this that
Wow.
are metaphysical. It's just rapturous.
Right.
So I suggested that ChatGPT wrap its mind around that one. It
Okay.
came back a little discouraged. It said, artificial intelligence is not really very good at metaphor. Said we lack the human experience to grasp the resonance of
Yes.
these things. And also, we tend to be very literal. So when words have multiple meanings, we're confused. We're sort of
Right,
thrown
right.
off in the wrong direction. I said, okay, that's all right, admittedly, but is there some way that we could work together to make you better at this analogical imagination?
Hmm.
And now I have to say that ChatGPT did a very good job of saying, well, yes, I believe that I could be trained to understand metaphor better because what you could do as the human is cross reference me, cross pollinate, right?
Yeah.
Ask me, for instance, and I love this, I remember, ask me, does sound have weight? And that would force me to go into different modes of knowledge in order to get that cross pollination that appears to be at the heart of
Right.
poetic metaphor. I thought, well, this is promising. If it's already detected that part of its flat footedness is
Yes.
it can't leap between domains,
Right.
maybe we could do something. And it's important, as I also pointed out to ChatGPT, that so many of our greatest inventions in human history have come from a dream
Yes.
image,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
The benzene rings, the periodic tables,
Yeah.
gravity, all of these
Well,
depend
there,
on the
yeah, right.
ability
And
for
there's
poetic
often
metaphor.
a
Yes,
metaphor
yes,
or
yeah,
some other symbolic indirect representation